Hey everybody, it's James, not Jim here. This video here is covering, obviously in the title, my trip to Big Bend. I went with a friend, Chris. He did most of the planning work, to be honest with you. Made it a breeze. All I had to do was make it up to the top of the mountain. We went up South Rim. We camped at SR4, and the next day we went to Toll Mountain. We dropped our gear, climbed up Emory Peak. And then the next morning, we made our way back down. We went in June. It's pretty hot. We took about 14, I think I took about 14 liters of water, 14 to 16 liters, somewhere around there. And it wasn't enough water, to be honest. We could have taken more. But I couldn't have carried more. So with that being said, so we will cover at the end of this video, if you stick around, we'll cover some lessons learned, some of the stuff we saw, some of the stuff we didn't expect to see, good and bad, and things that I would get mentally prepared for, get ready for, that will make your experience better. And we'll cover some of the gear that we used and some of the gear that I would like to upgrade and change for doing overnight camping of this type of terrain. So I hope you enjoy. We'll try to pick some good music. All right, we made it. So, very nice visitor center, top notch. Has maps, everything you need. This is a view from the Lodge B. We're on the first floor. Most of everything you see outside of probably that peak to the right there you will be very up close and personal to it. So we chose this route primarily because of we thought it was going to be easier. So there's no hard rule, no preference. I thought it was better, and it probably saved my heart because of the amount of weight we were carrying. If you're a billy goat with a strong back, do Toll Mountain first, and then hit Emory Peak, and then go look at South Rim, and then do a nice slow descent. All right, we're set up. Now we're exploring. These cliffs are about 100 yards away from the campsite. I'm playing with the camera here. So these red arrows are where we're at right now. The black arrow is what you'll pass if you head to Toll Mountain the next day, and has even better views than what you're about to see here. We didn't get many shots of those. There were some hikers, one of the, or two, I should say, of the 10 people we've seen on the trail the entire weekend. Look at that. So you see in the back, there's Rio Grande, Mexico. There's quite a few creeks. And you see those little flies flying around the screen? They weren't biting flies, but they were there in your face the whole time. I will say, though, I only was bit by one mosquito. Hey, Chris. Good time for a selfie. This is one of my favorite photos. I don't know why. I'd make it a postcard if I could. So this is roughly what a morning is going to look like. I'm fairly certain I frightened off a black bear, kicking up rocks and tearing up some bark. Apparently I was louder than it, trying to get dressed to get outside with the camera. But look at this deer's face. Hopefully the camera captures it. It looked miserable. Flies all over its face. So we're packed up. We're moving down the trail, heading to Toll Mountain. We ran across these pools. Teeming of life. Butterflies, dragonflies. Coming up ahead, there's even a print. I'm not sure if it's a bobcat. Tadpoles all over. Well, we made it to Boot Canyon. Chris is going to go ahead and scout ahead. I didn't want to go down. I was fairly certain there wasn't any water, but since he's half billy goat and half pack mule, he had no problems going down. He was going to holler back if he saw water, and he hollered back. So I did go down the trail. We went and topped off some bottles. Not as much as I should have. We only topped off, I did 2 smart water bottles. I think he did I can't remember. I think it's 1.5 liters or a liter. But we probably should have done more. It was very hot, very dry, but we didn't want to take more than our share. Hey, we made it to TM1. I don't know if this is TM2 or 3, but I do know this campsite was shaded. We didn't have any breeze, but we had shade. So we're basically where that black arrow is. The red arrows is how to get to Emory Peak. We staged our gear. We didn't put any the tents down. We just rested and then left out with some water. This is up from the campsite. Beautiful view. This is at the trailhead where the toilet is and the lock boxes. So if you do want to if you do a day hike and you want to drop your pack and take water, you can. They have lock boxes there. This is the picture of the trail. But this is the view from the trails. It's basically going up the ridge line, and from left and right, you just have fantastic views. Spots that you haven't seen yet because just the angle and with that ridge line just gets you into just the really good shots. That's the trail, a little pale, sneaky path right there. This is right there at the base of the cliffside of the peak, and that's a degree from the angle of the trail. I'm going to let you listen to the audio. This is us just trying to figure out where we're going. Oh, man. Ooh, almost lost my hat. I'm gonna go climb to that rock over there with that lizard. You wanna take a picture of me over there? Where? That rock out there? It looks like you can make it down there. I don't know about making it back. Almost there. Maybe. I guess we're going up that.
Looks like it.
This is the top. So you will have to use your hands and feet to climb to the top. So I took a 360 sphere. I think this is well worth it. It was kind of touch and go getting it, but I think this will give people who can't climb to the top the ability to see what it looks like from the top. It's in Google reviews. I'll try to see if I can get it in Google Earth. I don't know how, but I'll figure it out. These tiny little bugs were up there. It's the weirdest thing. There was also a crow or raven up there that Chris befriended before I got up, so I'm fairly certain that's his spirit animal. The downhill descent, as you can see, is much more touch and go and tricky than the uphill. So the GoPros, the Samsung phone, they're all dead at this point. So I'm just using my smartphone, my Pixel 6, to just capture the downhill descent. I also have less than a half a liter of water at this point to capture the 3-something miles it is to go from TM1 to down the Pinnacle Trail to the the trailhead. But just look at the difference in the terrain, the trees, this bad camera swaying, the steps, the rocks. This is literally just a completely different trail. Probably not literally, figuratively. But it just shows just how diverse this trail. I mean, it was probably 14.5 mile trail system that we traveled, probably 17 miles total from all the detours and stuff we did. But it never felt like I was on the same trail. Every 3 miles was a new trail. Yeah, towards I guess it would be the beginning or the end. Depends on which way you start. You see a lot more signs. I will say once you start getting about 3 miles in, especially going up the South Rim, there's less signage. That was a welcome sight. It's when we're on top, well, basically up there, what you're looking at, we were able to see that tank and the tower, and it was one of the cool things about this trail and the way they cut it. It really lets you kind of foresee what you're going to look at. You get kind of build a little mystery to it, like what is that rock up there? At some point, you will most likely see that rock up there. That was probably one of the coolest things. Like, oh, look at that. That's weird. I wonder what that is. And then you get over it and you're like, oh, that's what it is. I will say, so some of the things I was not expecting, like I said, I'm a state park hiker primarily. The trails on here, and I get it, the topography and the soil composition, all that is a little bit different. The trails, in some parts, that you really have to step up. Some of these steps are pretty high. I will say that. Oh, hang on! Here comes Chris's moment. I want to run it. Yeah, you did it. Lessons learned. All right, so we got to the trailhead. We got over here. This is like those are the lodges. We stayed in that one in the middle, I believe. I might be lying to you. I think it's the one towards the right, actually. There's ice. One thing we didn't see. You see that right there behind that car, right in direct center of that image was an ice machine. We did load up ice. I loaded them up into these things. I filled. Actually, I think this was just water. I froze one of these, I think. And then let me grab my. Come back. By the way, this is Hydro Pack. This is one of them. I had a 4-liter and a 3-liter. I took both of those. I took the Osprey 3-liter. I love this thing. I used to be an avid Camelback, but I love this thing. I like how. Well, first of all, it has a strap. I have a cheaper backpack that I just take for day hikes. It's a Teton. This goes right in there. Straps right in. Fantastic. I like how this thing disassembles. I can easily thread it through, get it right in where it needs. I've never had this thing, excuse me, I never had this thing pinch up, cut off my water. We did have a situation in the lodge, sorry, lodge folks, where Chris's tip just on this one came off. Wasn't in the world, just kind of panicked because we thought we busted a reservoir right away before we even got started. So just be mindful of that. This thing does come off. And one thing I do like about it, because you see this one's been sitting, it's kind of grimy, it does come off, and you can clean it easy. Downside is you got to be prepared to not let it come off. The other thing, this is the Thermarest Pro Light that I took. I think this would be really great. I'm going to keep it, obviously. I paid for it. So I think it would be really great on softer grounds where you have some kind of, I'm gonna say it wrong, I'm asking you, loomy soil, grass or something that's really get more cush. I'm like I said, I'm a hefty boy, 220. I crushed this thing. I tossed around. It forced me to be on sleep on my back, and we'll say it was comfortable on the back, but I snore, so it was not good for wildlife for me to sleep on this. So I probably will do something. I'll be the guy you see carrying that big old square thing or something. I don't know. I'm gonna try to find something a little bit thicker. But yeah, I took a whoopee. We used to call them. Well, I called them poncho liners. That's the only thing I took for sleeping. I didn't take a sleeping bag. One of the regrets I wish I'd had taken. I wish I'd have taken my poncho. I took a footprint, but not a poncho. That was one of the things that it would have been kind of cool to use my tent poles to kind of elevated shade structure. Chris had his. We didn't use it when we needed it. We were just kind of wanting to go look at the sights and scenery over at SR4. It was not really needed at Toll Mountain. It had plenty of shade. We just had no breeze. Some of the things I took on the trail that were dead weight, you might call it, is the AeroPress. I love this little thing. It's much better than instant coffee. I only used it Saturday. I didn't use it Sunday. His water got pretty tight. I made 1 cup, got on the trail, I should say. It was pretty good. It kept me going. It's not a lot. You don't have to brew an excessive amount of water. You just do a little bit, fill up your cup, get on the road. I definitely recommend it, especially if you like good tasting coffee. I used the cheap Stanley. I might invest in one of the titanium sets. This thing was $14. I don't recommend Walmart, but they had it at Walmart, $14. If you can, shop local, obviously. Inside it, I have some emergency matches. Those are pretty good waterproof matches, to say. I took some bulletproof coffee creamer for a little bit of extra pick-me-up. Used the BRS. I have another burner, but I took this one because it's a little bit smaller and I wanted to pack everything in here. The other thing that it's a requirement, and I really look forward to using it, but I didn't actually use it, was this Restop 2. I know it's most likely Rest Stop 2, but we called it Restop and it was stuck in our head, so it's Restop. It's going to be weird, I know, but I looked forward to trying it. So I do a lot of boating. We do a lot of traveling. This is something that I'm going to keep. I have it right now. My wife thinks I'm probably nuts, but I have it in every vehicle we have. I have it in my backpack. I keep one in my glove box. I keep one. I'm going to keep one in the boat. So it's pretty handy. So inside of it, it's a spill-proof bag. It has toilet paper, microbial wipe. It has these little pellets, little absorbent things in there to help keep it from being a sloshy, nasty bag in your pack. Chris used his Saturday morning, the second day out. Sunday morning, second day out. Never smelt it. What we did smell was on the trail. There was quite a few spots. Have you seen that blurry spot in halfway through the right when I think the first break in the time lapse on the trail? I had to blur out. There's somebody pooped on a trail. Every little cutout, there's somebody pooped on a trail. Emory Peak, somebody pooped right there at the right before you scale up. Get on all four. There you go. I get on your hands and feet. You say, somebody pooped on the trail, put a rock over it. Not big enough rock, didn't dirt it. You can't dig out there. You go straight to rock. There's no way to cover it up. So take these out there. Throw them in your bag. It's very lightweight. I think I had 3. Probably weighs This weighs about less than this creamer. No trouble at all. Take it out there. It's a requirement. If you can't hold it till you get to the compost and toilet, I was able to hold it to the toilet, and for me to use it at that point would have been really just been kind of weird for me to just go do it and right next to the toilet. The other thing I took, I normally take a knife or so. I mean, obviously we're out there. I wound up getting this Gerber dime. And then I put this little lanyard on it. I like this thing. It has scissors, tweezers. I wish I should have got a video of it. But I ran up against the cactus, and those fine needles were in the side of my leg, and I used the tweezers from this to get them out. I don't think I would have been able to get them out without it. It was nice. I actually. 4 days later, I'm sitting in my house. It's like, man, my leg is really hurting. I still had one in there, and it was starting to get infected. I wound up having to use the same thing again, tweezers, because it was readily available in my pocket, and pulled it out, and I put some Neosporin on it and a Band-Aid. And I was good to go. But other than that, the only thing I would be aware of is when you get at the end of the trail, if you do not have a lodge, or a hotel room afterwards, there's nowhere to shower. You get to the end, if you're like us, you have a 7-8 hour drive or a flight thereafter. There's no shower at that location. You have to go like 45 minutes to another direction to utilize the shower. We didn't want to kill that time. That would have been an hour and 30 minutes going to. So we used the restroom. Basically just armpitted it up. It worked. We changed clothes. We had a fresh set of clothes. It wasn't bad. We didn't reek. All in all, great experience. I know the people on the trail that we met was, like I said, 10 total people. We met some birders. We met a couple couples, and everybody was polite. We had a conversation. We took a selfie with some group. The birders were walking around trying to educate us on some of the birds. We walked with them a little bit. Then we met them at the end of the trail. It was there wasn't that many people, but who we did meet on the trail were high quality people that were like-minded. Obviously, there was people who were willing to go out to Big Bend in June and traverse the trail. The birders themselves were getting ready to. Oh, my door is opening up. Oh, wasn't that a poltergeist? Wife caught me YouTubing. So, highly recommend heading out to Big Bend. It's probably better in the cooler time of the year. We went when we were available. Had a blast. It was something that I probably wouldn't repeat the exact same trail that we did, but I would like to go back and explore more. Boot Canyon, I think that would be where I'd like to go check out next. Explore more of that area, and then do some of the back country stuff. But yeah, please like, subscribe. I am just now starting, as you can probably see, and let me know how I did. First video, long video. Don't plan on making them this long. I had many hours of time-lapse videos and footage and tried to condense it down in less than 40-minute video. So, thank you. Enjoy.